In today's video, I'm going to be taking this art that I've been working on in the last couple of videos, and if you're interested in how I created that, I will link to that in the description of this video. But in today's video, I'm actually going to be transferring this art to a t-shirt. And to do that, I'm going to be using some transfer paper. I got this set that has a light and a dark version, and it also comes with some embossing tools so that you can draw your design. I'm going to be using the lighter color or the white color for my t-shirt because it's a little bit darker. I also just have this old metal sign. It's just kind of a nice flat hard metal sheet that I'm going to use to do the embossing on, because you need a pretty firm surface under your art in order to transfer the image. I've also got some painter's tape and some just little weights to hold my template in place while I'm working on it. And to do the actual artwork, I'm going to be using some acrylic paints. So I've got a couple of paint brushes here, and then I'm excited to try using these Shuttle Art acrylic paint markers to embellish some of the t-shirt artwork. So to get started, I've laid out my t-shirt nice and flat, and then I've placed my template on the shirt where I want it. And I've just used some painter's tape to tape around the edge so that I can keep my template in place. In case I move it, I just want to make sure I can line it back up. And this tape will also help when we're doing the actual painting. It'll kind of mask off the part of the shirt that I don't want to paint. So I want to go ahead and put my metal plate in here, and I'm just going to slide it between the two layers of the shirt. And it's not quite big enough to cover the whole thing, so I am going to have to move it around, but it will cover the whole top portion here. And if you don't have a really flat sheet, you can probably get away with a cookie sheet or something like that. And then once I've got my template in place inside my tape again, I can go ahead and put my weights on here just to kind of hold it stable. And then I'm going to take one of my transfer sheets and just place it underneath my template. So once you have your tracing paper and template in place, all you need to do is use the embossing tool to draw or trace out your design. And you want to use firm and steady pressure, and be sure to keep the tracing paper under the area that you're tracing as you work through the design. And if you need to, you can peek at your progress by carefully lifting the template. So this process can take a little bit of time, but I find it to be one of those relaxing, mindless activities. So here's what my design looks like once I have the whole thing transferred. And I was able just to use one sheet of transfer paper. One thing I will mention is that I started out kind of just drawing a single line for my outline, and then I realized that it was pretty wide, and so I did go back and make sort of a double line where the outline was. So just kind of think about your transfer before you start working on it. I think I can make some adjustments as I'm doing the painting, but you might want to kind of think through your design before you actually trace it onto your shirt. And the other thing is, I didn't put the wording at the bottom. I wanted to make it a little smaller, or maybe not use it at all. I'm going to be using this for my paint colors as sort of a guide, and as I mentioned before, I'm just going to be using some acrylic paint colors. If you're really concerned about that, you can certainly be sure that you have fabric paints. The markers that I have say that they are good for a lot of surfaces, including fabric, so like I said, I'm just going to be using what I have. Just as a point of reference, I did paint this t-shirt years ago, and it's been washed many times. You can probably see that the paint is crackled quite a bit, and I think that happened fairly early on, but the paint does stay on the fabric, so I'm not really concerned about using acrylic paints. But I think that if you have a fabric paints, they might not crackle the same way. So that's just something to consider when you're choosing paint for your project. I have my main colors selected. I may have to fudge with the green a little bit. It's not the perfect color. And I've got my brushes. I need to go ahead and insert my cardboard here so I don't end up painting through both layers of the shirt. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to start, but I am going to just kind of treat this like a giant coloring page and get to painting. As I was working through this painting process, I did come across a couple of things that were helpful, some little bumps in the road. The first thing is that you definitely want to be able to move your piece around and sort of turn it upside down so that you can reach the parts to paint them more easily. So you're going to want to secure the shirt to the board. So I just took some straight pins and pinned all of the loose parts to the back of my board so that I could move it around easily and get to the sections of the art that I was working on. The other thing I found is that some of my paint colors did not cover nearly as well as others, and I only have one actual fabric paint, and that's the black, and it actually did spread on much nicer than my acrylic paints. The acrylic paints needed to be watered down a little bit and so that they would flow more smoothly, and then I ended up having to do a couple of extra coats on those pieces as well. The other thing is that the acrylic paints, and I think the fabric paint to a slightly lesser degree, do make your fabric pretty stiff. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. I did do a lot of the black outlining first, but I don't think you have to. I was just sort of butting my colors up together. So whatever works best for you, you do want to kind of plan out how you're painting so that you can keep your hands out of the wet paint. But I don't think it matters if you do the outline or the background first. So here is my t-shirt now that I've finished painting all of my base colors. And I'm not sure if you're going to need to do this next step if you are using fabric paints. But because I used acrylic paints, you can see some, I don't know, you can see some rougher spots, and it feels pretty rough to the touch. So I'm going to use a little bit of, this is a really fine grit, just some 150 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gently sanding off that top layer. And what it does, you can feel immediately that it just knocks down those rough edges and it feels much more like a knit t-shirt again. It's still going to be stiffer, but it's not as rough and jagged. And it also kind of blends your colors a little bit where there's not really smooth coverage. So here's a closer look at the t-shirt, and that sanding really did make the shirt feel so much better and softer. And you can see that it's kind of distressed the paint. It's not completely smooth coverage, but the sanding really does a nice, it makes the shirt feel much nicer, but it definitely distresses the paint a little bit. So I don't have a super solid color here, but I like the way it looks. So I'm pretty happy with it. I was a little worried that it was going to be super stiff and way too scratchy to wear, but the sanding really has helped. So you could leave the shirt like this, but I'm going to go ahead and try to add a few more details. You can see in this artwork that is sort of styled as pop art that there are a lot of little dots throughout the design. So I'm going to go and use the markers to do that, and I also want to clean up a few of my black edges. Some of these little stars are kind of not very crisp, and so I'm going to go back with the black marker and re-outline my wording and kind of touch up the black, as well as adding some little of the detailed dots into the art just to give it a little bit more dimension. These markers are great. If you've ever used paint markers, you know that they kind of are, the ones I've used are problematic. You have to sort of pump them to get the ink to go into the tip. And these are much more like brushes, so they're really easy to use. They don't run out of ink and you don't have to re-prime them. So right here you can see a little bit where my outline, my white outline where I traced the design is still showing. So I'm just going to go back over these areas kind of gently with the marker just to clean those areas up. And as I mentioned, add some of the dots to the art. So hopefully I will still like it. It looks pretty good right now, and sometimes you can mess things up if you keep going, but I'm just going to play around with these little markers and see if I can add some additional details to the art. So if you didn't see the videos on how I designed this art, the short story is that I just thought it would be fun to take photos of my dogs and make them into pop art superheroes. So this is modeled off of one of our dogs, and she is definitely a big howler. She's taught all of our other dogs how to howl. So that's where this idea came from. And if you're interested in how to design your own art using your photos, you can check out the links in the description. So here is the finished art. The markers were really fun to play around with, and I was afraid I wasn't going to like the little dots, but once they're all on there, I think they turned out pretty good. But you can tell me, maybe you liked it better before the dots were on there. Anyway, I think I'm finished except for removing the tape. So that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check all of the extra resources linked in the description. There's also a place to sign up to receive the Upcycle Design Lab newsletter if you never want to miss one of my projects. Also, if you haven't already, I'd love for you to click that subscribe button and join my YouTube community. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.